What if I embarrass myself?
Nicole Beharie is doing anything but embarrassing herself as she plays Christina Hunter on season 3 of The Morning Show.
I just wanted you to know how valued you are.
I think I'm learning how much.
But in episode 3, that started streaming yesterday, Nicole delivered a knockout performance where she hid her punches because, as Christina, she had to. In a sequence where Christina gets to confront on air the studio head, played by an excellent Holland Taylor, by the way, who used a racial slur when describing Christina in a company email.
I haven't spoken out in public until now, and here to join me as I do so is the woman who wrote those comments, UBA Board President Sybil Reynolds. Thank you for being here.
Even that side-eye glance, like she doesn't turn her head to look at her, I thought was a very pointed choice by Christina and Nicole. Now, of course, Nicole can't talk about that choice or anything else in regards to the episode or the show because of the ongoing SAG strike. She acknowledged in her last Instagram post on July 19th.
Chris Hunter is stepping into some really big shoes on the morning show and finding her voice.
Last week, the show did share a short video with some sound bites of Nicole talking about her character.
Things come out and she's forced to decide what her new place is.
Well, yesterday, Decider decided that Nicole has certainly found her place on The Morning Show, writing, Nicole Beharie outshines her movie star castmates on The Morning Show Season 3, Episode 3, White Noise. Yeah, that's what the episode is very cleverly called. That headline's a little bit weird. I don't know, like, it's just odd to me to define the others as movie stars and Nicole is not. It's just odd to me. But anyways, it's praise for Nicole no matter what.
The Pearl Milling Company used the image and likeness of a black woman to sell a brand. I'm sure with no profit participation. My question is, what brand am I helping UBA to sell in your eyes?
Nicole's only posted with The Morning Show was on June 29th, the day the promo images came out for Season 3 of the Apple TV Plus series, and Nicole teased, you don't want to miss this. Well, even if Nicole can't respond, people are missing the opportunity to praise her work.
In the interest of transparency, was I hired for a permanent anchor position because I am black?
And since her name was trending hours after episode 3 was released yesterday, I doubt Nicole is missing out on reading all the accolades that she's getting. One viewer commented today on Nicole's SAG strike post from July, I know you can't respond to this right now, but I wanted to say how amazing you are as a person and an actor. Your performance on today's The Morning Show was absolutely stunning. Kudos. Good Girls Post put a clip of the scene up on their TikTok account and already has 1.1 million views. And then someone took it off their page and put it on Twitter, and its reach has gone far beyond what I could ever figure out. But the two biggest posts on Twitter of it have reached a respective 7 million and 1.4 million. So at this point, we're looking at least 10 million people have seen Nicole's powerful moment come across the screen. Tonight, both The Morning Show and the Apple TV Instagram accounts posted the clip from the powerhouse scene, and Viola Davis quickly commented, awesome, compelling, honest, with 2 heart emojis.
Were you aware that I was Q tested more than any other person who has ever anchored the show?
Following Nicole's performance, where she points out to her boss that she has more than earned the opportunity to anchor on The Morning Show.
That I had to have 8 different approval meetings in addition to the strategy discussions about my hair.
I was unaware.
Viola's comment ends up creating quite a nice parallel, given that viewers are calling for Nicole to be a contender for an Emmy next year.
The only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity.
In 2015, Viola became the first woman of color to win the Emmy for lead actress in a drama series, and in her speech, she gave a shout out to several of her peers who were also leading the way on television.
And to the Taraji P. Hensons, the Kerry Washingtons, the Halle Berrys, the Nicole Beharies, the Megan Goods, to Gabrielle Union, thank you for taking us over that line.
I was just completely flustered. Like, boom.
At that time, Nicole was starring on Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, I was like in the twilight zone. It was a dream. I was watching this woman that I've adored my entire life, career, before my career, followed, and just to be noticed by her and recognized by her in a moment where I wasn't even present, you know, was really amazing.
You cannot win an Emmy for roles that are simply not there.
Of course, Nicole can't acknowledge Viola's praise, but I'm just going to take a wild guess that Nicole was very pleased to see that that's how Viola sees her.
Is that how you see us?
Yeah, of course, I can't speak from a black woman's perspective. I know it's shocking. But from a perspective of someone who has worked on camera for several different TV shows and worked alongside some women of color, A lot of the scene rang very, very true.
Anyone who sits in that chair has to be grateful.
There it is.
I should be grateful.
I mean, the grateful comment, the hair comment, not my hair, but yeah, one of my coworkers' hair went to that issue. That moment before Christina goes into the studio and she is aware of what she can't be on air.
What if I do this and all anyone sees is an angry black woman?
And on that note, another element that I found very on the nose was when the morning show segment starts and Christina does the intro, Sybil immediately jumps in there and just starts right into her apology speech.
It was inadequate, to say the very least.
She doesn't even let Christina lead it, like showing her the respect to do the job and lead it. Doesn't let her ask a question. Like, she just steamrolls things. The obvious way, or the cliche way the scene would have gone was that at some point Christina would have cut her off and said, like, you said enough. Now I'm going to say something, and then deliver like a really, powerful cutting monologue. But it would have been realistic because that's not how it would go in real life.
You let employees of color be systematically devalued. Is that something to be casual about?
Like, Christina never comes back at her with the same verbal steamroll. Like, that's why it reminded me of Sharon Osbourne and Cheryl Underwood on the talk on that fateful final day. Like, I didn't, count how many words they each say or time how long they each spoke, but it struck me that Sybil verbally dominated the scene. And that's how it would have read on paper. But when you actually watch the scene, Christina completely owns the scene. That's because of Nicole's performance. That there's so much that Nicole is saying in her eyes. There's so much that's not being said that Nicole is still communicating. And even in her dialogue, it's mostly just questions. Like, she's not really coming back at Sybil with a lot of statements. It's a lot just questions.
We should move on from this climate where racial divisions are exploited.
But that's every climate, though, wouldn't you say?
And that's what a really good anchor does, is just keep on asking questions and let the guest or subject just, dig their own hole. So I thought it was really well written, expertly performed by Nicole. She's absolutely going to be an Emmy contender. Obviously, she won't be a contender for lead actress in a drama series. I'm assuming she'll be in enough episodes this season that she'll qualify for supporting actress. If not, then she'll be considered for guest actress. But yeah, either way, Nicole should be, and is already being talked about as a contender for the Emmys next year. But yeah, what was your reaction to her powerful scene?
We will move on from institutional racism right after this break. Keep it here.